This is B2 Will Wilson, back with another video. In this video, I'll be discussing a supervisor by the name of Christopher Small, who was a employee of Amazon, who, after finding out that a couple of his employees had contracted the COVID-19 virus, decided to inform his leadership, in which he was quarantined, or in other words, fired. I want to say, first of all, hats off to you, Mr. Small. I can relate to your story because something similar happened to me. But I want to have this conversation about the employees, because Christopher Small was a supervisor, and it's usually not the responsibility of the supervisor to, inform the leadership about working conditions. It's usually the responsibility of the employees. Most places that have unions, when employees step up and bring things to the attention of management, which would be sicknesses, work conditions. But it was very unique that Mr. Small, who had been an employee of Amazon for 5 years, and like I said, he was a supervisor, for him to come out and bring attention to the conditions of the workers in the Amazon building. I think it was in New York. But hats off to you again, Mr. Small. We have to not focus on money so much. What really surprises me in this situation is that, people are, a lot of people are still being selfish. And they're willing to put their lives on the line for the buck. And it's not time for that. And what Mr. Small did was very noble. Unfortunately, he was quarantined or fired. I think he said that he was quarantined on the 3rd of April. He had made mention of a young lady by the name of Sheila Cargo, who had contracted the COVID-19 virus, and he told her to go home, and that was on the 31st of March. And like I said, he went and told his leadership about the conditions, and I think he said he even, had people come up and discuss their stories about the work conditions of Amazon. And so he targeted him, and they quarantined him while letting the other employees work. This is a problem, because why is he the only one being quarantined? And I even think they said it was a smear campaign done on Twitter by the management team, against Mr. Small. But the employees have an obligation to do what's right as well. In this situation, we need to focus on, what's right. I think I'm going to say that a lot. I'm going to say that because I'm not perfect myself. I'm a work in progress. But I do believe in standing up for what's right, especially on the jobs. Because if you don't, the environment can be very oppressive. And Mr. Small made mention that they were offering overtime, paying double time. That's good, they're paying double time. But to the workers of the Amazon out of New York that Christopher Small was a part of, is it worth it? We have to learn to be a people of togetherness. And I'm speaking to all people at this time. For those who do watch my videos, I speak a lot about the ADOS foundational Black American community. I was saying fundamental, but it's actually foundational Black American community. And but this is for everybody, because we're all part of this situation or this agenda or which I like to call it the Anglo-Saxon mission. And so we have to kind of like look outside the box, or think outside the box. Your safety is way more important than your pocketbook. The Lord tell you to trust Him, and He tell you to seek Him. And if you do that, and seek Him His righteousness, He'll add things to you, so you don't have to be putting your life on the line for the check. You know, my story is very unique, similar to his, except there was no violence. It was just working conditions. And I too was fired. But to me, it was a good fire. We have to learn to stand up for what's right. I mean, not just in this, but also in our lifestyle. But, if you're able to step up on your job, that's a good thing. And Christopher Small stood up on his job. And being a supervisor is very rare. You're not going to find supervisors doing that. Let me tell you, they're just not doing it. They are go along with the get along. Trust me. But he stood up. So kudos to you, Christopher Small. And I'm going to try to encourage people out here who have these jobs where there may be working conditions that may not be, conducive to your safety. You need to speak up about it. It's not a problem. Well, it shouldn't be a problem if you bring these things to the attention of your bosses. And if they're not listening, I think a walkout would be in order. We're going to have to do things a little different from what we used to be doing. It's been said from numerous people on YouTube that things are not going to be the same, and I tend to agree with them. We're going to have to be more, honest, and I'm going to use the word more of an examiner. We got to learn how to examine ourselves and examine what we're doing and what our purpose in life is and why we're doing what we're doing. But I'll tell you, there's more to life besides money. And part of what's going on in this country is due to man's concern for money. We're too money hungry. And we're not focusing on our souls. So God is allowing things to happen so we can focus on our souls and not the money. But Christopher Smalls, hats off to you. For those at the New York Amazon, which you worked, consider what you're doing. And for those who like this video, I'm sure you're going to let me know. For those who do not like this video, I'm sure you're going to let me know that too. But thank you for watching. Okay.